in half one more time. Holding it against the top folds. And we're going to place that right below our seat. I'm going to put on the folded edge. And this is if you have a block, if you need a block too, if you need some more support, you know that your hips are super tight, take that now by all means. Just because I present one option for support doesn't mean you're limited to that option. You really have to do exactly what is best for you. So with your blanket support here or prop of choice, we're just going to come to sit so that the sit bones sort of spill the rest of the body right over the edge. Sit bones are secured and relaxed into the support, just teetering at the edge so that the back body can sort of open. Spine can stack and we can be nice and long. So I have a hard time dropping right into restorative or like a nidra or some kind of slow, quiet, supported yoga. So I tend to use a little bit of movement prior to kind of prime my body and mostly my mind so I can drop into these supported postures. So with that said, we will start seated. Just pay attention really briefly to which ankle is on top right now. And if you like the more of shins glued to the mat, choose to place one shin directly in front so that the heels are kind of in alignment. Not required, again, it's just a thing that you can do. And from here, let's close the eyes, rest the palms face down on the knees or the thighs. And just take a moment to shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it, and then exhale, drop the blades together down the back, let the air seep back out. Again, through the nose with the shoulders in here, roll it up. Back out through the nose, let it go. One more time this time, roll it up. Hold, hover, open the mouth, let it go with a sigh. Just settle in. Feel yourself rooted into the support of the mat beneath you. Feel the spine balanced over center. And maybe just slightly press the base of the skull right where it meets the spine toward the wall behind you. Like you're trying to press your back up against the wall. Soften the place between the eyebrows. Let the jaw unclench. And notice that we don't squeeze the eyes shut, rather the lids just rest gently over the eyeballs. Again, noticing any interruptions, distractions, or just a place to practice. We'll bring the focus right back to that breath. The ever-present now, in through the nose and back out through the nose. And I know already there's probably something in the body that's uncomfortable. That tends to be the place where our mind wants to settle. All movements and adjustments throughout our day are meant to bring us comfort. This yoga practice is meant to help us lean in to the discomfort. Sometimes I know that's not always possible. So instead, the invitation is to find something, even if it's just the tip of your pinky toe, that doesn't hurt or isn't struggling, clenching, squeezing, gripping. And bring that focus instead to what's going right for you instead of what we want to adjust or change, that you can exist alongside those things. Deep inhale, fill it up. Open the mouth, let it go. Let the eyes softly float over. Just begin by slowly warming up the spine a little bit. So continuing to stay supported on that seat. We'll draw the arms up overhead, fingertips to touch. Exhale, twist to your left, taking your right hand to your left knee. Left hand is behind you, forcing the spine and lengthen through the crown of the head. Deep belly breaths, as best we can, even in this twist. And then with the inhale, stretch the left fingertips high up overhead. And exhale, hang from the fingers, reaching over to the right side. And here we want to nail that left hip into the mat, reach and finish through the left fingertips. Trying to stack the left armpit on top of the right. So just hanging, maybe the gaze goes towards your right knee. And with the inhale, root down through that left hip, reach the fingers high to come up. We'll arc that hand all the way down, left hand down to the mat, reach the right arm high. And again, we'll nail the right hip into the mat, reach the right fingertips, and start to gently crawl the left fingers away. Lean that right hip firmly into the earth and stretch and reach for the side wall. Left hand is there for support. Maybe the elbow comes down to the mat depending on that side body openness this morning. Continue to breathe deeply. Open through that right side, contract through the left. Softening something, use the breath to get us there. And leading with the right fingertips. Reach the right hand forward. Sweep front, reach to the side. Plant the right hand and sweep the left arm up overhead. So we already start from a lower place here. It's a little bit big for that side waist. Continue to stack the armpits. Right hand is for support. Crawl the fingertips away as space opens, but make sure that that left sit bone stays glued to your support. Start to open the heart. Maybe look up to the ceiling if it's okay for the head and neck. And this time the left fingertips lead to come up to seated. Rock back on the hands to support, and we'll change the cross of the legs here. So I'm just going to switch the foot that I have in front. If that's comfortable for you, if you need different support here, go ahead and shimmy into it, settle into it. We'll take our second side. So this time, inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, we twist to the right. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Starting to look slowly over that right shoulder. My back kind of cracked there. You know your spinal column is nice and aligned. And then with the fingertips holding onto the knee firmly, we inhale, sweep the left fingertips high. Then exhale, reach over to the side wall. Keep gluing the right hip into the mat. Maybe the gaze can go towards your left knee, if it feels okay for the neck. Reaching, gently leaning, letting go. And the inhale, press down through the hip, up through the fingertips, up center, and all the way, right hand to the earth, left arm up overhead. So again, opening that sideways. Lean into that left hip, right fingertips fall, float away. So the left hand can come up overhead. And maybe the right elbow makes connection with the ground. If it feels okay for the head and neck, the gaze can go up toward the ceiling. Lean back into the shoulders, trying to stack left shoulder over right. Heart open, big, broad. Through the nose, back out through the nose. And to transition, left fingertips start to reach for the side wall. Armpit drops toward the floor, and then we sweep through center. Keep it nice and low. Left fingertips find the earth. Right arm sweeps up overhead. And again, opening that right sideways. Keep that subtle rotation from the base of the spine, finishing with the crown of the head, making sure that shoulder doesn't shrug up toward the ears. You want to keep the neck nice and long. Deep breath in through the nose, back out through the nose. And engage the side waist, right fingertips lead to come up. Touch the arms up overhead. And hands through heart and center. And we'll transition from here. So rolling over hands and knees. Go ahead and set your blankets, your props off to the side. We'll need them shortly. Just kind of hands and knees. from however you're positioned on your mat. We'll begin by sinking the hips to the heels. Knees to be as wide as the mat, big toes touching, and make sure that you're aware that the hips do not have to touch the heels, just send the message. Really, what's the main event here is we want to support the forehead so the back of the neck can relax. Let the heart melt to the earth. And if the forehead does touch the ground, the arms can stretch out forward. For shoulder mobility issues, you might walk the hands a little wider. Keep that in mind for down dog as well. But just in this moment, go ahead and connect with what's going right. And then we'll use the next inhale to bring the knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. We'll tuck the toes, keeping the spine in a nice long line. Knees to hover about 2 inches, and we'll press the chest back toward the thighs. And I'd rather, again, have you, so if the shoulders are tight, you can walk the hands a little wider. I'd rather have really bent knees with a nice flat back, and in fact, we'll hold this for just a moment so everyone becomes on the same page. So everyone thinking of the crown of the head like a broomstick is right up through the back body, and the tailbone is pointing toward the top of the wall behind you where the ceiling meets that back wall. Keep pressing the chest back toward the thighs. Keep that energy, and now we can start to bend into one knee as you straighten the other. Try to pedal through the heels. Just test one out and the other. So we find maybe both heels start to drop toward the earth. Nice, long, flat back. Keep the pressure on the first finger and thumb of both hands. That activates the inner arms. Rolling the eyes, the elbows forward. And then we'll externally rotate the sit bones, trying to show the inner thighs at the wall behind you. And here, let's go ahead and just shake out the head and neck, let it go. Next breath, we find some stillness. And the inhale is to flatten out to a plank. Here, I'm going to bring my big toes to touch, heels to touch, inner thighs to squeeze. Broomstick up the back body. Inhale, push to the fingertips more than the heels of the hands. And then as I exhale, I'll take my knees to the mat, bend my elbows straight back, and lower the whole thing down. All in a nice line. I lengthen from the hip bones, point the toes, and reach to straighten my legs for baby cobra. Press the pubic bone into the mat, shrug the shoulders around the spine. Neck is long, shoulders away from the ears. My palms might press gently, or they can hover and float. Breathing deeply in through the nose, back out through the nose. Keep that long neck. Slight split between my feet, just to make space for the spinal column. Finishing with the tailbone. One more inhale. And to exhale. Coming up through hands and knees. So again, I'm going to engage my core, keep everything nice and flat. Up to tabletop. Find that position, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward, facing dog, and pedal through the feet once more. Finding some stillness again. Inhale. Look up between your hands, walk your feet to your hands. Nice and easy. When you rise, 2/5 distance between the big toe mounds. You can grab opposite elbows of the head, fall nice and easy. There's a bend at the knees here. Take some of that straight out of the low back. Just rock and roll side to side. Bend one knee and then the other. Find some stillness back through center. Relax the clasp of the hands. And slowly roll up to standing step one. Vertebrae at a time. See if you cannot adjust your clothes. Don't touch anything. Close the eyes. Relax the palms facing forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. Keep releasing. Exhale, let it go. Now with the exhale, let the eyes float open and go ahead and adjust your clothing. From here, Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Palms to touch. Bend the knees. Prayer fold. Soft knees here. Inhale to your long flat back. Fingertips to the shins. Look for the horizon. And exhale, fold again. Plant the hands and step as many steps as it takes to get back to your downward facing dog. Inhale from here. Let's send the right leg high-ish. It's early. As you exhale, pull the knee into the chest and step forward with as many steps as it takes. I'll take my hand behind my ankle to assist my foot forward. Now I'll heel toe ball my foot to the right, making space for my shoulders over my wrists. So both hands are on the big toe side of my right foot. From here, I'll drop my back knee and then tuck my toes. Dropping my hips sort of down and forward. We're going to keep this weight on the big toe side of the foot for just a moment. And then as you exhale, see if you can continue to draw that right hip back. Right thigh squeezes the midline of the body. That's your psoas, it's opening, so there's a lot that's probably talking. Find that one part of the body that has nothing to say. Re-engage with it. It's there too. It's just not as loud. All right, and from here, keeping 90 degrees at the ankle, take the right toes off to a diagonal, so just about 45 degrees, like a slice of pizza right there between where your hand is and your big toe is now. Keeping this at 90. The inhale is to just drop the knee open to the side, lift the bottom of your foot off the mat, and we'll lift the gaze. So there's a little spin and pivot at the hips. I almost come to the outside of my left knee for this crooked monkey shape. And then we'll exhale, we'll come back to lizard. So stomp the foot back, toes straight forward, and look back at your navel. Push through the palms, find a cat back. Inhale, turn the toes, show me the bottom of the foot, lift the gaze. Exhale, toes forward, stomp the foot, cat back, push through the palms. One more time. Inhale, lift the gaze, knee flops open, and exhale, stomp the foot, round the back body. Let that go back through lizard. Left hand stays beneath the shoulder. Reach the right arm high and look to the ceiling. Keeping the weight on the right big toe. Option to tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and find a twisted lunge. Looking up towards your right thumb. One more inhale here. And an exhale. Reach the right hand forward, big cartwheel sweep. Hand plants on the mat. And we'll load on the back heel to take a big step forward, top of the mat. Keep that wide straddle, so outer feet are parallel with the long edges of the mat. Tuck the tail and scoop the belly. Roll to rise. Big reach. Turn the toes out, heels stay in, and exhale, drop into a malasana squat. So knees track over that second toe on both feet. Lower into the seat. Hands up heart center. Maybe the elbows drive the knees apart. Lift the gaze. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. How's the breath? Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And from here, lower the hands to the mat. Lift the hips. Heel toe ball the feet back to center. Plant the hands. Many steps as it takes back to your downward facing dog. And inhale the left leg high-ish. Same thing. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward like a plank. I push off my back toes to make that step a little easier. And as many steps as it takes, or left hand behind ankle to find that runner's lunge. Heel toe ball my left foot off, center, both hands plant, left big toe side of the foot. I scrub my toes back to untuck my toe, relax your knee to the mat, right knee to the mat. Hands plant. Wrist creases under shoulders, and keep hugging the left thigh toward the midline of the body. Collarbones are smiling, shoulders are shrugged away from the ears. Elbows could bend directly back to the back wall behind you. Right psoas is open and talking. Left hip is still squeezing toward midline. Take a breath here. Exhale, let it go. And now Turn the left toes out to that 45 degrees. Make that pizza slice shape between your pinky finger and your left big toe. And with this, we inhale, drop the left knee open, lift the bottom of your foot, lift the gaze, let the right hip starts to drop toward the floor. It's a bit of a twist. Exhale, turn the left toe straight forward, stomp the foot, press through the palms and find that cat back. Inhale, open to that crooked monkey. Exhale, back to that rounded lizard. One more, inhale. And exhale. Back to regular lizard here. Gaze looks forward, that's where we want to go. Tap the back toes. Lift the knee. Load on the ball of the foot. Step forward, wide leg straddle. Allow the tail to tuck. There's a soft bend at the knees. Backs of my hands rest on the mat. Hang like a rag doll as you roll to stand. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Big reach. Pick it up, get big. And exhale, toes turn out, heels in. Hands drop through heart center into your wide leg Balasana squat. Second one maybe a little different than the first, it's okay. So get a little warmer, more from here. Just noticing the change. Is it different or it's not better? It's not worse, it's just different. And from here, hands plant, lift the hips, heel toe ball the feet back beneath the body, plant the hands, and walk back. Downward facing dog for the last time this morning. And release the knees to the mat. Brief child's pose. Focus on what's going right. There are many. Even if we can only identify one thing right now. Using the next inhale in the hands, we'll roll our way up to seated on the knees. Come down to seated on the mat. So for this next one, we're going toward a little bit of a hip opener. Hips are always good to release before we drop into some thoughtful, really juicy poses. It's a little bit of work, but it helps kind of open and prepare everything. So from here, to get into this double pigeon shape, where a lot of us will rest in is figure 4. So a little bit of an external hip opener. So from here, if you don't have wrist issues, it's wrist creases under shoulders, fingertips pointing forward. If you have wrist issues, it's fingertips pointing away. Whatever works for you, it's not better, it's just, different. And from here, we're slightly just gonna lift the hips off the mat, keeping that bend in the knees, and I'm gonna cross my right ankle over my left knee, drop my seat back to the ground, and start to walk my hands toward my hip, maybe my heel back toward my butt, until the two come toward each other enough that I get a little bit of external hip pressure. And I want to continue to drive my right knee away from my right shoulder, keeping that flex at the bottom of my foot, 90 degrees, always. Chest is lifted and shoulders are around the spine, long neck here. And this might be a stopping point, and this is where we want to stay, whatever it looks like. If it's too intense and that you've overcommitted, it's okay. Just walk your foot away and be right here for the moment. If we're going on toward the double pigeon shape, keep this figure 4. If I was here, I would slide my butt back to make myself have a little more space. Start to walk my left foot across center toward the right side of my mat, keeping this deep cross of my ankles, and start to drop my left knee to the ground. So nice, right away I notice I'm a little tight this morning. I'm gonna have a gap between my heel, my ankle, and my knee. So for that, a block or a pillow is a great idea. We'll shove that underneath there, right on the edge of my right knee and my left ankle, the protruding bone of your ankle. And the longer we might stay, the less support we might need. So continuing to drop the sit bones evenly into the mat. Keep that long flat back. Figure 4s, keep pushing that right knee away. And as you inhale, if you're in the double pigeon shape, breathe out through both sideways and exhale, float the fingers to the shins And start to fold to the ground and start to fold or walk the hands away and fold it in here. And take 3 to 5 of our deepest, most relaxing breaths from this shape. Double pigeon, the shin should be stacked like firewood, thinking of turning both big toes straight forward in front of you. Taking the gaze back at the navel, wherever that is for you. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Now is not a time to worry about dropping the shoulders away. Just let everything crowd up. There's a lot going on in the hips here. But again, notice it's so easy for the mind to just grip onto that tension and how maybe we wish it weren't there. Is this over yet? Whatever the dialogue may be, it's not enough, it's too much, why can't I go further? I did better last time, whatever it is. Let it go and focus on something that's going right. Let me hear you breathe. And using the next inhale and the hands to roll your way back up to seated. Lean back to uncross the legs from double pigeon, or if we're in figure 4, step the right ankle off the knee. Send the legs long, give them a little jiggle-asana, shake it out. And we'll take our second side. So fingertips facing forward, wrist creases under shoulders, bend at the knees, lift the hips and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Settle the hips back down and start to find your stretch. Figure 4s, maybe you notice right away this is your more open hip or your more stubborn hip. It's okay. We're not balanced in our everyday life. We're right-handed, left-handed. We drive all day, we stand all day, we lean one way more than the other. So make space for that, be okay with it. We move toward a symmetrical version of the shape, just sending a message. So again, if you did the figure 4, stay in the figure 4, or if you want to crawl that right foot across center, get your prop ready. Notice maybe this one doesn't need a prop as much, or this one definitely needs more proppage. We need that knee for your stacked firewood shape. Double pigeon pose. Wherever you end up, take a deep breath. Double pigeons, we reach up overhead. And exhale, float the hands down to the support of whatever is beneath you. Rounding the back body, forehead dropping toward the ground, gaze at the navel. Settle in 3 to 5 breaths. Notice that exhale may allow you deeper into the pose. The inhale is to ask the body for permission. The exhale is to lean into it, taking what's given. Notice if you're squeezing the backs of the knees, let that go. Relax the skin of the face. Last inhale. Complete the exhale. We'll use the hands and the inhale to roll our way back to seated. Rock that. Uncross the legs. Need a little wider straddle this time. Go ahead and shake it out side to side. Very nice. And now we'll do the fun part, the really indulgent part of this practice, this restorative, supportive practice. So with your props, whatever they are, 2 blankets, a blanket, 2 pillows, or 2 blocks, or yoga bolster, have those ready. So the blocks are going to go down at the bottom of your mat. And I'll take my blanket and open it up from the seated position to that wider shape. And from the top where the fold is, I'm just going to roll it up into a long, skinny roll. So go the hot dog direction this time with the tassels at the bottom. Keep rolling it so it's nice and smooth. So for the ladies, you're going to place this about 1/3 of the way down on your mat where your bra strap would be. Guys, I'm pretty sure you probably know where that is too, so just imagine. So it's right about where the shoulder blades meet the back body. So 2/3 down the mat. And we'll come to seated, lying down, so that bolster is going to hit right at that bra line. A little bit of a back bend here, and now I'll take the blankets, or my pillows beneath my knees. Starting with the soles of the feet together and knees dropping wide. My props are evenly, potentially, depending on if there's an injury or any other imbalance happening, same distance apart, and I'll drop my knees open. And then the chest lifts. The tops of the shoulders should touch the ground behind you really easily, and the palms will rest face up, arms out at a T. There's a slight tuck of the tail here if the back is hurting. This is a back bend. So the reason we didn't do too much back bending actively, we're choosing to do our back bending passively. So very, very indulgent. It should feel nice. There should be no tension. You shouldn't have to search to find that one part of the body that's going well right now, because like all of it should be. And that's sometimes yoga be like that, but most of the time I just try to make you suffer. But today, just you should feel good. So wherever the support needs to be, feel it balance on both sides of those outer knees. Feel the heart lifting and opening. And we'll just close the eyes in this place, giving away, letting go, moving away from what is outside, taking the focus to what is inside. You're already starting to wonder how long we'll be here. You're not wrong. Just notice, did you already go that way? Or are you hoping that I never open my mouth and make you move again? Just notice your tendency. Exist alongside it. And continue to breathe. Finishing this next round of breath. Go ahead and take the blocks or pillows out from under the knees. Use the hands to draw the knees to center. For this moment, let the knees knock toward each other. Let the feet walk to the outer edges of the mat. Arms again can return to that T shape. Feel how that releases the back body a little differently. And then we'll exhale, straighten into the legs. Feel how you start to rock forward and off of the bolster beneath your shoulders a little bit. Feel how it moves position. It might roll like a centimeter more towards your neck. That's fine. A little more opening through the front of the body, through the collarbone. Let the feet flop open and away from each other. Let it go. Notice if the heart started to race in anticipation for what's next, or notice if you can't even really find your heartbeat right now. Feel that body's response to the shape you've placed it in, to the mindful breathing you've participated in. And now, gently bend back into the knees, slowly roll over into your right side, coming off of your blanket. Use the support of the arms to make your way back up to seated. And we'll move to our final series of poses. So taking one last twist here in a forward fold, so a child's pose with a twist. Coming through hands and knees. We'll set our blanket off to the side, keep it rolled for now. And I'll stack, if you have blocks, this works too, I'll stack both my pillows, one end to end in front of you. And to come down into our supported child, we'll start with my knees off to the right, my left hip right at the base of the support. Arms on either side of my blocks or my pillows. Reach the neck long and forward. So I like to describe this as the mermaid sit. You're welcome, guys. But and visualize just your legs kind of spreading out from underneath you. You're not like super stacked and rigid here. You're kind of just spreading and relaxing. Keep the gaze long and forward, and then you start to just melt the chest onto the support of the cross in front of you. You can hang out with that left ear on the mat. The longer we're here, you might complete the twist by lifting the gaze and looking over your left shoulder, dropping that right ear down to the pillow and blocks, and just settle in. Let gravity complete this twist for you. Completely supported. And let it go. And take this moment to move away from thinking and come into feeling. Out of this posture, the next in a full twist. First, start by bringing the gaze to center. Hands on either side, press into the mat. Let the gaze float back toward the navel. Walk the hands back toward the navel of the hips. Coming all the way up to seated, nice and easy. Let the blood redisperse through the body. We'll transition to our second side. Just drop the hips to the floor, knees over and to your left side this time. I'm going to roll my hips to the center so my right hip bone comes right out into the base of the support once more. Mermaid legs from the bottom, arms on either side of the pillow. Neck reaches long and forward, reach the center of the chest. Inhale. And exhale, start by dropping the hips, the right rib cage, draw the hands forward, center of the chest, maybe the right ear, or complete the twist, gazing over the right shoulder. Let the body melt. Using this time to move away from human doing to just human being. breath softens you into the support. Move it all away. Next, mindful inhale. Lift the gaze to the center. Walk the palms back with the shoulders. Use the strength of the arms to press your way up to seated on the head. Relaxing to come. Coming back to seated. Go ahead and we'll leave our props. We'll take one last pose, a little supported back bend to transition into Shavasana. So with my one pillow down on its lower setting or a block on a lower setting, right at my low shoulders, center of the back, I'll take my other pillow up on its taller edge and come to supported Matsyasana, fish pose, right at the nape of my neck. I'm going to do a little bit of origami with my pillow here. There we go. I want my head higher than chest. That's really all I'm going for in this one versus the last back bend we did with the blanket. The head was below the heart. So I want the head above the heart. Legs can come to straight. Palms rest face up. This is a really great place to end our practice in Shavasana if you're ready to take it here. If not, we'll be here for 2 minutes and we'll come to our final Shavasana resting pose, more traditional but with some different support. Just be here and breathe for this moment. Feel the way that your practice has changed you today. Maybe how you have changed your practice. We typically tend to be the types of people that are heart charging. You need to feel the heart rate to feel accomplished. Notice that maybe you've changed that idea for yourself today. Sometimes it can just feel good to feel good. Last 3 rounds of breath, 3 of your best inhales and most complete exhales. I'm going to invite you to either stay in the supported fish pose or slowly moving out of it, taking the hands behind the neck, moving one pillow or prop out to the side, rock over to the side, take the other one out from beneath you. And to come to our final resting pose, a little support beneath the knees. So taking that rolled blanket if you've still got it, right to the backs of the knees. Stretch the legs long and forward, feet to the wide, far corners of your mat. And the palms can rest face up. Closing the eyes and again find your Shavasana shape. Allow the body to remain perfectly still as you bring the attention back to your breath. Feel the breath deepen. Take this moment to notice how you are now. Beginning to awaken some movements, wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles. Head might fall side to side. Maybe reach the arms up overhead, point through the toes like the first stretch of the morning. Depending on the type of day that lies before you, rolling to your left side for a more active day, and to your right side if you anticipate a more restful day. In either case, be held in the fetal position. Gathering it all up with the strength of the arms, making your way up to your comfortable Sukhasana easy seat, whatever that means for you. Allow the palms to rest face down. Close the eyes. Relax the muscles around the jaw. Smooth out the skin of the face. Bring the attention to the place between the eyebrows. And thank you all for sharing your practice today with me and with each other. And we'll close our time together with an audible exhale. Please receive your deep breath in. Bringing the hands together at heart center, thumbs facing towards you, fingers out to the world. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day and happy 4th of July.